Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever the hell you guys are located. My name is Al Ditton. I'm with Underground Noise Webzine. This is Webisode number 48. I would appreciate if you guys hit that subscribe button, and if you do subscribe, hit that bell button so you'll be notified when there's new videos out there. Like it, share it with your friends. I would really appreciate that if you want to, but if you don't, that's up to you. This morning, I'm here with Jesse Bergen from the band Diabology. Welcome,
Hello.
Jesse. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, you're welcome, dude. You're welcome. First off, I would like to ask you, who are your influences?
Um, I mean, I have the list could go on for a very long time, but some of the main ones I would cite are definitely like Metallica, Megadeth, the classics, of course. But I also am very influenced by sort of like I know I feel like there was almost like a thrash revival in the 2000s, and there were bands like, Trivium and Machine Head kind of putting their own twist on things. They were, like thrashy at heart, but they sort of added, like these melodic choruses and stuff. And so I grew up with that. That's something that's had a big impact on me. Bands like I said, Trivium, Machine Head. Um, but yeah, I mean, I could go on forever.
That's understandable. My influences vary myself, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I listen to a lot of Trivium in the day.
Yeah, no, I love Trivium so much. You heard the new album, or newish at this point, I guess.
I can't say that I have. The only last album that I did hear by them was Ascendancy.
Yeah, that is the classic. But yeah, if you get a chance to check out their new album, it was really tight.
I'll definitely have to check that out. One of my friends loves Trivium. Shout out to Scooby, better known as Brian Valise.
Yeah, shout out to Scooby.
That's right. Shout out, brother. My second question for you is, when did Diabology form?
So I formed the band back in like summer of 2016. We've been through like a bunch of lineup changes since then. I'm the only like original member, but yeah, I started learning guitar at a program called School of Rock, and it was an awesome program. But I did it for like 6 years or something, and all they do is like cover songs. So eventually it got to a point where I was like, I'm, sort of over this. I want to start working on original material. So, me and a few of my friends from the school who are also like metalheads just got together and started jamming, and that's what became Diabology.
That's cool. How would you describe your sound?
Um, Heavy but also melodic. We like to incorporate elements of various subgenres, and I like every song to have its own flavor. But I always like to balance, like, just heavy, relentless, like brutal riffs with, more catchy, melodic hooks and solos.
Now, as far as subgenres of metal go, I prefer death metal myself, but I'll listen to any genre of music that's out there, really.
Yeah, no, it's same. I don't, like getting overly picky about like subgenres where it's like, oh, well, we're black and thrash, and like there's elements of thrash, there's elements of death, there's elements of black metal, doom metal, classical music. We kind of just draw from anything that we like.
So you guys like to toss it up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Keeps the listener excited, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, we want every song to have its own, identity. We don't want to be like, okay, we're a thrash band, so we have to do this and this and this in every single song?
Hmm. Where has been your favorite place to perform?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Well, our last gig actually, we went up to Fresno. It was our first time going up there, here in California, and the crowd there was awesome. Here in LA, people are a little bit jaded, I think, because there are so many bands out here, and so many talented metal musicians, that on any given night you can find multiple shows to choose from. And so because of that, people will get, really picky and be like, oh, well, that's a thrash band playing with a death metal band. Like, screw that. I only like thrash. I only go out for, full thrash nights. But yeah, when we go out of town, we tend to get more enthusiasm, and we had, yeah, a great gig. It was just at some like kebab shop. I think it was La Maison Kebab. But the crowd there had such great energy. It was a really good time. And shout out to Zodiac Productions who put us on that bill.
That's awesome. I've never heard of Zodiac Productions before, but enthusiasm is definitely important for when you are on stage because that way you get the crowd moving and you have to yell at them a little bit if they're not moving, like if they're not headbanging or if they're, not in the mosh pit or whatever.
Yeah, no, energy in a concert, goes back and forth between the band and the audience. And yeah, if the audience isn't into it, then it's hard as a band to really get into it and fully, deliver when you're playing a show.
What type of gear do you use for your sound, Jesse?
Uh, I have you can actually see it right over here, but I have an EVH head with a Marshall cab. My pedals, I mostly use Boss. I have like a bad horsey wah that I use. I have a Ibanez Tube Screamer, and my guitar is a BC Rich War Beast. It's their 7-string model.
That's cool because before I started this interview with you, I heard a small snippet off the new song that you guys released.
Uh, I'm sorry. We released two sort of recently. Do you know?
Okay, it was the most recent one.
Oh, I believe Black Blood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I listened to like the small snippet that you have on your profile, and I was just like, wow, this is pretty heavy duty.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That is the goal.
You're very welcome. How many songs do you guys have entirely so far?
um, I mean, our first album was 12 songs long, and then our second album, which is coming out soon, is 10 songs long. So that's 22. And then we've been working on more stuff as well, so it'll be more than 22 very soon.
That's really cool, man. Never
Thanks.
hurts to keep your fingers occupied on those strings.
Never.
And I noticed that you got a similar guitar rack. I mean, I've got one that's just about the same thing. And it holds three.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, they're handy.
They really are. What's your what's your favorite moment that you've had with this band so far?
Oh, God. I mean that's I'm so bad at favorites. Um, One of my favorites for sure was a gig we were playing where just this friend of ours came out, and it was a really fun gig, and he came with a hot pepper that he apparently just found in a crate on the street. uh and he just had this pepper, and he was just like carrying it around. And then we were playing our set, and we got a couple of songs in, and he just comes up to me and like sticks it right in my face as we're performing, and so I just ate it. And I probably shouldn't have, but it was a lot of fun. my playing was not so great after that, as one could imagine. But yeah, it was a really fun gig. Everyone was, laughing and just rocking out, getting into it. That was definitely up there on the list.
That's really cool. So did that hot pepper end up hurting your vocals, or did it?
Yeah, it's mostly my vocals that it messed up. I was just, yeah, salivating a lot and coughing and choking a little bit.
I can imagine. I ate a habanero one time and it caused a fistula on my gums.
Oof. Yeah, no, I don't even know what kind of pepper it was. It was just hot.
It may have been a habanero, maybe a Carolina Reaper.
The color was more in line with a Reaper.
Okay, because I've had Carolina Reaper peppers before. They're pretty brutal.
Yeah, I haven't had like a whole pepper, but I've had it like just, like chopped up like little bits and stuff. It's no joke.
That's right. You know, the Blue Diamond Almond Group, they came out with a few flavors. They got habanero barbecue, they got ghost pepper, they got cayenne pepper flavored almonds, and also the Carolina Reaper as well.
Nice. Yeah, I'm a spice connoisseur. I don't know about
That's
you.
cool. I used to be until my stomach started giving me problems, and I'm just like, I need to avoid spicy foods for a little while.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, every now and again, I'll eat hot wings, with honey, honey hot flavored chicken wings, which are my favorite here in town.
Yeah.
So
You got a
you can never
favorite
go
spot?
wrong with that. Yeah, it's called American Faves and Mo. It's over on Vineville Avenue here in Macon. And I like to give them a shout out. Thanks for the wait on the phone. I remember one time I waited like almost half an hour until they picked the phone back up. They're like, "Can we take your order?" I'm like, "Yeah." Although one time I called at least 100 times and was still busy. By the time I got a hold of them, I was like, I don't know if I want to eat there or not, but ended up getting their food anyway. It's pretty tasty.
Okay, well, I'll keep that in mind next time I'm in Macon and have an hour to kill.
Yeah, I'll have to take you there. I mean, I don't drive personally, but I know where the place is, so it's really not too far from home.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yes, sir. So tell me, how many band members are in Diabology? Because I don't know too much about you guys.
There are four, including me. I sing and play guitar. We have another guitarist who does most of the leads. We have our bassist, Desi, and our drummer, Matt.
That's very cool. Do you know what kind of drums Matt uses?
I know the drums themselves are DW. I think he uses Zildjian cymbals, I think.
Yeah, I've heard of Zildjian before. They're pretty good company. Same with
Yeah,
Stadium.
yeah, no, Matt certainly likes his. He hits them hard and they don't break. So that's about as much as I know about drums. They don't break, so they must be good.
What advice would you give somebody that's just starting out on guitar?
Just be patient, take it slow. You're not gonna be able to play, anything, much of anything at first. You got to start with just like really basic, like, scales and exercises, but just take it slow. Don't give up. Don't, get too frustrated. Just understand that it's gonna take time and it's all part of the process, I guess.
That's very cool. Everything seems to have a process, whether
Yeah.
it's writing music or if you're working at a machine shop or whatever, you know.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, no, nothing is instant. It all takes patience and dedication.
Absolutely. How often do you change your guitar strings? Like, how often would you suggest a guitarist change their guitar strings?
I mean, the recommended time period they say is to change them every 6 months. I try to do that. I actually am just about due. It's been six and a half for me, I think. So I probably should do that actually. That's a good reminder.
I'm glad I could help you out there a little bit, you know.
Yeah, thank you.
Most definitely, dude. Of course. What kind of strings do you like to use? Personally, I like the Ernie Ball Cobalt strings.
That's actually what I use as well. Yeah. Yeah, no, shout out
Yeah,
to Ernie Ball,
yeah,
because
Ernie Ball rocks.
oh yeah. Yeah, I use the 7 string packs, of course.
That's awesome. I have a 7 string myself. It's an Ibanez GRG 7221. I don't know if
Nice.
you've ever heard of those guitars or not.
I mean, I can't, you know, I'm not familiar with the specific model, but I do like me some Ibanez.
And I also got an Ibanez RG 8 string and a BC Rich Kerry King Warlock 6 string.
Nice. Yeah, no, well, that's funny then, because yeah, on our upcoming record, the two guitars we use are the War Beast, which is just like the 7 string Warlock, and then our other guitarist used an Ibanez. It was, I believe, a 7 string Iceman, but yeah, I we have similar ta tastes as far as brand, I suppose.
Absolutely, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love the feel of an Ibanez RG. I used to have an RG 120 until it got stolen when I was living in New Mexico.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, I lost that and my original 8 string, but I replenished myself, so I can't hold a grudge against who stole it, but whoever did, karma will get you, God will get you too.
Absolutely.
So tell me something, Jesse. What millimeter size guitar pick do you like to use? And what kind of guitar pick?
Um, I don't have a specific millimeter that I like exclusively use. I do like picks that are thicker though. Um, Generally I kind of just test out the pick by just kind of trying to like bend it. And I like when it will bend just a little bit, but not like totally where like, you got to give it a little bit of force and it just has a little bit of give. I don't like if they're too solid and they don't like flow with the strings, but I also really don't like if they're flimsy. So I mean somewhere in the middle, somewhere probably around like 0.75.
That's cool. I use 1 millimeter myself, sometimes 1.5.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the solid picks are definitely good. Like I said, I like it to have just a little bit of give personally.
Yeah, it all depends on the gauge of the strings, you know, and what I'm going to be playing for the day. Because if it's going to be something really fast, I want something that's going to give me a little bit of durability, you know,
Yeah, for sure.
that and flexibility too.
Yeah.
Because you get one of those thin guitar picks and you try to shred out with that, it's going to break in half within seconds.
Yeah, no, I hate using flimsy picks. It feels bad.
I'd rather use a medium on an acoustic guitar than a thin one because sometimes if I use a thin one, like I said, it will break within
Yeah.
seconds. But if you're really delicate with the strings, I guess it would work pretty good.
Yeah, no, I mean, they definitely have a use. I don't think it's for us metalheads.
That's true. I think they make good throwing items, kind of like certain CDs where you can play frisbee with them, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Pick
like,
friendly.
what band is that? Oh, it's Limp Bizkit. Here, let's throw it this way. You want to play frisbee for a while?
Uh,
Not that I'm trying to knock on them or anything. I mean, I'm not personally a fan of Limp Bizkit myself, but I will say I'm not going to knock somebody for what they like. If they like it, that's great. But personally, I don't care for it.
Yeah, yeah. I can't say that it's up my alley either.
I can totally dig that. Have you ever broken any strings while you've been on stage?
Amazingly, miraculously, I have never once broken a string on stage. I don't know how. I have just been extraordinarily lucky.
That's awesome, dude. That's very awesome. Now remind me, do you play rhythm and lead or do you just play rhythm?
We do split some lead. Our other guitarist, Tommy, tends to take more of the leads, but I do play some as well.
That's cool, man. Are there any bands that you haven't played with that you would like to share the stage with?
Uh, I mean Metallica, Trivium. I mean there are a lot of big bands. But I mean on a smaller level, I guess more like realistically. There's an awesome local band out here in California called Hirax. They're really cool. I would love to play with those guys sometime.
That's cool. That was going to be my next question for you is what is your local music scene like?
Um, I mean, that's kind of what I said earlier about how it's very oversaturated, which, in some ways is awesome. I mean, there's always a metal show every night of the week. That's, incredibly cool. But at the same time, it does cause people to be a little more picky and a little less appreciative, versus some other places where there's a little bit of a smaller, tighter scene.
How do you sustain your energy level?
Like on stage.
Whether on stage or in the studio or rehearsal space?
I mean, hydration, eating well, fair amount of pot.
I can understand that. I used to smoke myself, but I haven't in, well, it's been since July actually, because I went to New York to visit my mom with my fiance, and we were up there and ended up getting some from my brother. And I'm just like, well, this is interesting. I've done this in a good minute or two.
Yeah. Yeah, no, out here in Cali, since it's legal-ish, we get like the good stuff that's like, specifically like the like genetically modified and whatever to be like super strong weed. So come out here sometime. We'll smoke you out.
I'll have to see what I can do.
Yeah.
But hey, Jesse, I can't think of anything else to ask you. Do you have any last words for Underground Noise Webzine?
Well, yeah, we're I'm out here promoting the our upcoming second album. So, if I could just talk about that for a second, Father of Serpents is coming out on October 7th. It's our second studio album, and I am super, super proud of it. Like, I have never been more proud of anything I've ever done before. Um, but yeah, the first two singles off of it are out now. You can find them on, Spotify, Apple Music, Bandcamp, all that good stuff. We've got more singles on the way. And for all the people out there, you should definitely follow us because we've got a lot of cool stuff coming up. We've been trying to get out of town more, like across the Americas, to promote the album. So we might just be coming to a town near you. So yeah, that's what we've got going on. So check out the songs, check out the album, and look out for our tour dates.
Sounds very cool. Thanks
Yeah,
for
and thank you
thanks
so much for having me on the show.
Hey, you're welcome. Thanks for giving me a portion of your time today, Jesse. It's been a blast.
It has, yes. Thank you.
Keep on shredding, brother.
And you as well.
Every day or no way.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know it.